Hey guys, Viggoman here and welcome back to another video from Osterham. In today's episode we move outside the city walls and start building the city harbour. The harbour will be buzzing with life. People coming from all over the world here to trade either their goods or to buy the best quality oysters. I'm super excited to build a new area of the city here and I think it will turn out really cool. If you have ideas or inspiration, let me know with a comment down below or post in my Discord channel. I kinda want to ask you that if you enjoyed today's episode and if you enjoy my content in general, please feel free to hit that like button. It is the best way of showing support and it tells the YouTube algorithm that perhaps Viggoman's content is alright and we should show it to more people. Anyway, let's finish off the time lapse for today and move over to the tour part where we take a look at everything in first person. And there we go in first person, once again looking at what we've built during the time lapse for today's video. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's such a cool style and vibe I think we've created here. It's a style I've been working on for quite a while actually, even before I started the city here. I was just kind of tweaking, playing around, figuring out this kind of style as I kind of been planning out Osterham before. And I think this turned out great. It really has a unique or different, I guess, kind of vibe or style looking thing than the city or the inside the city walls. If you haven't seen how this looks, I recommend checking out my other videos where we take a look at this in detail. But it's close enough. It resembles the houses inside, but it's different, and that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to create a distinct style change once we get outside the city walls, and I think I've managed to do that well. And of course, this place will be less wealthy, so we gotta indicate that somehow. And I think the texture designs and the material choices and that kind of stuff, helps to tell that story. So what we have built is 5 houses here alongside the harbor here. This is going to be one of the areas for the bigger boats. So in the future I want to build a massive boat going alongside here. It's going to be really fun. And also we've been spending some time on a stream planning out this area here a little bit. And I've also have some sketches in a program or a sketch program where I have sketched out where I want like specific parts of the city, kind of moving over here as well. But idea is that we'll have this harbor here, this entire area here, and we're gonna have some houses, and then these houses will all have like small backyards. We're gonna take a look at that closer later on, like that. That goes for all of them, and same goes for all the other houses we're gonna build over here as well. Then we're going to have the Harbour Master's house, which is going to be this big orange building here. It's going to look pretty cool. And it's going to be like at the mouth here of this smaller harbour thing looking out. Then we're going to have a lighthouse, which is this orange circle over here. And then there's going to be like this wave breaker here, just kind of separating the ocean from the harbour a little bit. Just kind of protecting it a little bit. And then of course harbour on the inside here. Might have some small wooden dock sticking out here for smaller boats, or leave it open just like you could dock next to it. I don't know yet. We'll get to that as we progress. Anyway, let's take a look at the buildings we have done today. The first building here is a fishing shop, so it sells fishing gear for a lot of the boats here, probably a lot of these oyster traps, I guess, and basically whatever you need to be a fisher. So cool house, love the design here. And you come in here, then we have a very like narrow, tight little shop where we have some fishing nets. We have traps, oyster traps, and all that sort of stuff just being placed around here, looking very cozy. And it's definitely nothing big as we have seen in the city center, but it works. Then you come to the back here. There's a little kitchen area for the family, and again just trying to portray that this is a less wealthy area, and I think I've figured it out somehow. I think it tells a story that this place is not as wealthy. We move up here, we get to like the living room thing. They have a little sitting area, a fireplace, and then over here we have the bedrooms for the family with yeah, some beds for parents and kids and all that sort of stuff. And then there is a ladder or a staircase going all the way up to a small attic all the way up here where we have some storage and whatever you might need all the way up here, which is kind of cool. Then downstairs again there are or we can go outside here, and then there's this back alley area. So this house here just has a little back alley where they grow some crops for private use, so some barley and some turnips and all that sort of stuff. And again, that's the idea for most of these houses. All of them will have like a small backyard or small area where they can do some private yeah, farming and stuff. Moving on to the second building for today, which is this one. This is inspired by we have this in Norway, in a city called Bergen. There's a very famous old harbor with all these yeah, wonderful wooden medieval houses, and of course the style does not resemble it, but basically a lot of those houses were built mainly to store fish coming from the entire Norway for I think it was the spring before it was sent out to Europe. So this house here is mainly built to store oysters from everyone around here fishing for oysters, and especially in times where the trade is low, you would store them here, and then you could yeah, there's large ships coming in from everywhere around the continent to grab some oysters, and you'll just have a lot of them stored in this building here. So that's the idea for this building. Meaning once you come in here, it's not much of a shop, it's more of an office where you come in and you can order stuff, or you could buy from him saying you want 100 crates of oysters kind of thing, or you could deliver here as well. So if you have fish some oysters, you can deliver a crate of oysters. Then we're moving to the back where we have the kitchen or the living room thing. Yeah, a big kitchen. Some eating areas, and then some storage here below the staircase. Looks kind of cool. But from here we can also go to the back, and there's a little back alley, a little farm, a little trough to wash yourself, and yeah, that sort of stuff. Looking pretty cool from the back as well. I like this. And then we can go around here and up the staircase, and we get to yeah, the living room thing. So yeah, small sitting area, decorative, looking pretty simple, but it works. And then the master bedroom in here, or the bedroom I guess. So we have beds, whatever you might need. And there is even a little ladder taking us up, and this is where all the oysters are stored. So this is actually iron, but it kind of looks like oysters. If you use your imagination a little bit. So just a ton of oysters being stored up here. Of course not for a very long time, but for like a couple of weeks. And I imagine it smells pretty bad up here. And a little workshop just to clean them and check for the bad ones and filter them and whatever. And what's kind of cool though is that we have this crane solution here. And you'll see that in a lot of medieval harbor houses, where you have a crane and you can lift stuff to the different floor here. So this crane here is used to lift up the crates from below and then up to this attic here. And I cannot get in there, but there's even a winch system inside as well to lift them below between the floors in the storage. So that's really cool. Now moving over to the third building, which is this one. Love the brick here. I think it looks wonderful. And this house here is an apothecary, so he sells all sort of apothecary stuff and relies a lot on people or trading with boats. So people like seamen and yeah, sailors and whatever, they need medicine, they need whatever they might want, they could get in here. Okay, so that's the idea here. And then again, as always, a little kitchen area and that sort of stuff in the back. There's a little back alley here. This is a little larger actually. So it's a little outhouse here, shared between a couple of the houses, and a little farm patch. Looks really cool. sitting area and storage and whatever you might need. And then there's a staircase taking us up, whoops, like that. So we have, yeah, if I remember correctly, this is an apartment. So here we have someone renting a small apartment up in here. Yeah, so a separate small apartment. And then this is kind of the bigger area for the family owning this area. So a big fireplace, really cool. And then sitting area and whatever. And then up here we have some beds, some storage, and the master bedroom over here. So 2 families staying in this house here. And then we have 2 more houses. This one here, the diagonal one, is a rope maker. So in the back there's a little workshop for making rope. And once you get on the inside here, it's just like a little area here where you could buy ropes. You could buy like big rolls of rope, I guess. And then you go to the back here. There's a big workshop here. We have this. I tried to replicate some of the stuff I saw online for how they made ropes. So you'd have like some kind of string material and then spin this to make the rope. I don't know how it would work. And a little farm patch as well. And then in here in this like workshop storage area, we have a lot of rope being stored. And also like some of the fiber you might need for creating the ropes and tools and yeah, whatever. You can go through here and you'll get to the house again and back into the kitchen area. So basically whatever you need. Then upstairs we have a small sleeping quarters for the kids. And then we have a small sitting area and like living room where you can actually go to the balcony overlooking the harbor. This is a wonderful balcony. And then around here we have the master bedroom for the parents of the family. And then the final building for today is this one, which is a tavern for the sailors coming in here if they just need some food and drink. And it's called the Drowning Maiden. It's really cool. It has this very nice outside area to sit in the sun if you want to, and especially in the summertime this would be a popular place. And there's also a little inside area for the guests as well. So the entrance here, the actual front of it, is actually not the tavern. This is for the family. So you get straight into the house itself. Yeah, let's check out that real quick. You come up here. We have the living room. We have the master bedroom over here, like that. And then come up here, we have some beds for the kids and some storage and all that sort of stuff. But downstairs, and if we go all the way out, or actually we can go through here, we get to the kitchen for the tavern. So a pretty big kitchen with a big oven here, and then yeah, some areas to prepare the food and whatnot. And then a little area here for the guests to sit. So it's not the biggest tavern, but inside here we can probably house like 10 people, which is cool. And then of course on the summer times, you could have people outside sitting on these, which is really cool. And it's just such a cozy tavern. I think it's really wonderful and it looks cool. Then I also want to point out this crane I built here. It's just a small one just to lift up some of the crates from the boat stock in here, and it's not going to be used for massive lifts, but just tiny bits, and it looks pretty cool. I think it would work mechanically unless the load is too heavy. And that, my friends, is it for today's episode. I really do hope that you enjoyed. If so, make sure to smack that like button, and if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Viggoman, and I'm out.